Alright guys, so we're going to be talking a little bit more about logic and conditional statements, except we're going to do something kind of fun with them, okay? We're going to look up counterexamples. Alright, counterexamples are just a way for you to disprove a conditional statement. Trust me, counterexamples are the easiest way to do a proof, because all you got to do is throw one example out there, boom, you disprove the whole thing, okay? So, what a counterexample, what the definition of it is an example that contradicts a conditional statement. So, it is an example that makes the hypothesis true, but the conclusion false. So, it's almost true, but not really. So, here we have an example. If a number is divisible by 5, then it ends in a 0. That is true that all numbers that end in 0 are divisible by 5, but if the number is divisible by 5, it doesn't necessarily mean it ends in 0. I can disprove this conditional statement simply by coming up with the counterexample 15. That's it. You're just coming up with one example that proves the hypothesis but makes the conclusion false. So 15 is divisible by 5, but clearly it does not end in 0. So let's have some where you guys take a second to try these out, okay? I'll read the conditional statement. You guys take a second and think if you can figure it out. If you need more time than I give you, pause the video, okay? So here's number 1. If it is a bird, then it can fly. So you're trying to think of an example of a bird, but that cannot fly. A counterexample to this one would be a penguin or an ostrich. Both are birds, but neither one can fly. You could have also come up with, I think, a kiwi or an emu or anything like that. As long as it's a bird, and as long as it doesn't fly, you've met their criteria. Let's look at another one. If a food is green, then it is a vegetable. Think of a counterexample for this one. I found 2. That one. Here's mine. A lime and an apple. Both are green, but neither one is a vegetable. Technically, you could put a green tomato on here, and that's a fruit, and that's green. Alright, this next one's a little tricky. If it is a number, then it is not spelled with an A. So basically, we're looking for a number that, when spelled out, contains an A in it. You might have to think of a fairly big number for this one. I found 2 examples of this one. 1,000 and a quadrillion. 1,000's obvious what that one is. A quadrillion is basically 1,000 trillions. I believe I heard that the world debt is approaching $1 quadrillion. I don't know who we owe, but it's a big amount of money. Alright, I got one more for you guys. If the money is American, then it pictures a president on it. So, if we have a dollar bill and it's an American dollar bill, then there must be an American president on it. Can you think of a counterexample for this? Again, I know of 2. You know one, can you think of them both? Alexander Hamilton, who was the first American Secretary of Treasury, and Ben Franklin. I believe he was Secretary of State, but neither one was ever president. Okay, and that's what a counterexample is. You're always just coming up with something that proves the hypothesis but makes the conclusion false. Okay? All you guys got to do is answer a few questions for me, and we're going to do some practice with these counterexamples again next week. All right, guys? You all enjoy your weekend. Thanks.